Thank you for listening to Fem Talk 89 FM, and we welcome viewers on MyTV as you tune in to Family Pacific's Radio with Pictures, coming to you live from Family Pacific's office at the St. Thomas Anglican Church compound here in Labasa. It's all part of the 10th anniversary celebration. Fem Talk 89 FM was launched on May 5th, 2004. And our very first broadcast was on May 25th, 2004, as part of the commemoration of the International Women's Day for Peace and Disarmament, with our first group of student volunteers. Since then, FemTalk 89 FM, or our suitcase radio station, has traveled around Fiji. And since November 2011, we have had our very own FemTalk 89 FM in Labasa, where we broadcast from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. throughout the week. 2 weeks ago, FemTalk 89 FM Radio with Pictures was in Nandi with Idaho, and we continue our 10th anniversary celebration in Nausori last week, where we broadcasted live from the Delkusha Church. So welcome to Family Pacific's Labasa Community Media Center, where we are broadcasting from today. The theme for our 10th anniversary campaign is Communicating Peace, Development, Diversity, Security, and Freedom. So let's join Sharon to introduce members of Family Pacific's 1325 network in Labasa.
Thank you, Lucille. Economic and food security is the topic for this second segment, Radio with Pictures in Labasa on FemTalk 89 FM. So FemLink Pacific produces a monthly report called our Women's Peace, Human Security and Development Report. It features the findings of our radio programs, our consultations, market reports from the floor of local markets across Fiji, and our women's household income expenditure surveys. It provides the quantitative and the qualitative reality of the status of women from the 5 centers here in Fiji. But for a reality check as well, it's time to check in with members of our 1325 network in Labasa. We welcome Elisapedi Rasome. Elisapedi is from the Basonga settlement. Bolovinaka to Merilita Tikonduandua, all coming from the Nangai Women's Club. We have Losena Railangi from the Mataniwai Women's Group. Hi, Losena. And Maretta Balemai Wasa. Maretta is a member of FemLink's Young Women Producer and Broadcasters Group here in Labasa. Hi, Maretta. So to start off with, maybe I'll just ask Elisapedi and Merilita. Let's talk about cost of living. You know, you're having to manage families. The reality in the community is, what is your budget like and how much are you able to make every week to make ends meet? How are things going?
Thank you very much, Mrs. Sharon. A very good morning to Ms. Sharon, and a very good morning to the listeners on my TV listening this morning. I'm Ilse Pederasamin. I'm from Basonga, that is situated somewhere in Labasa. Just to touch on the economic, since the cost of living nowadays it's really high, so like budgeting of money, it's really important for each and every person to have in every household. Like for myself, I'm a self-worker. Like at the moment I'm not working, and it's only my dad working and feeding the family. So like the reason for not working is that like we really cannot afford the tertiary fees and all the stuff. So
you went up to high school?
Yes, I went up to the high school, but I finished my certificate, but I was unable to complete with my diploma, since I have to think for others, younger siblings of mine, for them to come up
to finish their high schooling as well.
So I told my dad it's better for me to stay home and help my mom while he goes around to work.
What does your dad do, and how much is he earning for the family right now?
Thank you, ma'am. My dad is he's a chainsaw operator, and like he's in I can say he's a contractor. So like it depends on people. If people want him to work, then he can earn money.
So Basonga settlement, has that come about because of the big logging project that, you know, Vale Basonga is known for the logging in the community and the timber yard and things like that. Is that why your family moved to Basonga, to get that kind of work?
Yes, we moved to Mbosonga just because of that, since we had that there's a big sawmill over there who's working on these the loggings. But like, because it depends on the certificate level. But since we moved in, like my father did not have that certificate, so like he has his own chainsaw, so he used to move around and ask for jobs. So that is how we survive. So actually in a week we just earning around about $200, and that is really not enough for the family to survive.
How many in your family?
We are 5 members of the family.
Okay, thanks, Elisapedi. Marilita, you're a mum, and there are many other mums like you in Nangai village. How are things?
Good morning, Sharon, and good morning to all listeners this morning. For myself and the women in Nangai, the cost of living is very high. And for myself and my husband only working. I was working before, and now I'm just staying home. And his income is fortnightly. He gets fortnightly paid, and he gets $800, which is not enough for us, because today the value of money is down, as everybody know, and I need to buy good food for the family, to stay healthy, and also my son is in tertiary school in Cornivia. We have to send money for him for his expenses, and for other women, they are suffering too, because not many women in my place in Nangai are working. Only men are working there, and they are not getting enough salary too. As I said before, the value of money in Fiji today is getting low. It's down. If I say, just for example, if you take $100 for your shopping for groceries, I think that's not enough.
How much are you able to buy with $100, Marilita? Because we all know that prices are more in the Northern Division. You see it in all the advertisements. Prices may vary outside of VT level. The newspapers cost more. What are you able to buy for $100 to provide for your family?
Yeah, for $100, I can just buy good vegetables, like low prices, like $1, and vegetables and fruits, and for my family the groceries. We're gonna look at the money together with my husband, so we can buy good prices of food. We can go up just for the level of that $100.
So you see what you can afford.
Yeah, it's
What you can buy with that $100, but as you said, you're always looking for quality of food,
yes,
yeah?
yes,
Particularly the tinned food, because you want to make sure that it's the
Yes.
right quality.
yes.
Yeah. Marilita, I guess the question would be both for you and Elisapedi. How much are you able to grow? How much are you planting yourself? How much could you be saving if you had land? And are you planting?
Okay, thank you, madam. Like, since we are living in one squatter settlement, so like we are only given the house block. So like part of the like we really cannot plant anything on that land, except only the house to be there. So like it's really hard for us to look for land to do the planting. But if land was available, I think our problems would have been solved.
Okay, thanks, Elizabeth. Marilita, do you have access to land to plant in Nangai? Because I know we just heard in the previous segment, Nangai is made up of people from all over Vanua Levu, as well as some from Viti Levu are here. But do you have access to land to plant?
Yes, Sharon. In my community, I'll tell about me. My house is just a piece of small land. Just that small land, I can plant some belly and eggplant, even kumala and tapioca for that small land.
So you're having to go and buy the fruit for the children, the green vegetables, as well as the other supermarket type goods. Thank you so much for sharing, Elisapedi and Merilita. Lasena Railangi, you're from the Mataniwai Women's Group. One of the projects that the group has been trying to manage for several years is your bakery. Tell us about the bakery project. When you first started it, what did you hope to do and how are things going?
Okay, thank you, Sharon. Um, Back in 90s, there was a challenges for women. We have to go and collect beach demand at night. But before that, our mothers back then, they used to dive for that beach demand. They used to dive and even for some fish. And they used to sell it for $3 a kg. But now, at my time, we used to go and collect, and then we sell it for $5 a kg at night. And when we come back from collecting beach dima, we have to come to town and sell it. $2 a fare, and then we sell it, and we have to deduct $8 a boat fare, plus $5 for the battery, and the rest we can use it.
So so how much would you earn, for example, after one night of going out to?
Sometimes I collect $40, and sometimes I collect $15. And some of my other ladies, my friends, they collected more, 80 or 90s. When it's in, we just refer to weather. If it's a good weather, then we might collect more.
Is the beach dimmer, are you noticing from your mother's time to your time, is there enough beach dimmer to be able to make a living, or the numbers decreasing?
The number is decreasing. Before, when they used to go out, they have to take big containers and they have to fill it with that big containers. Now we have to take the small containers.
Explain the size of the small container. 1 liter, 2 liter, 4 liter?
They have to take the 10 liters, they have to half it, and it's still full. But now in our days, we have to take 4 liters and we have to get it half.
Okay.
Or sometimes we are lucky, then we get it full.
So you had to find a different income generating project, obviously.
Yes, and then in 90s, the women, they were planning to have a business, a project, so they can run for the women's. And then last few years, they plan for the bakery. So, and they plan for the bakery to run, and we have to bake every day. But since we have 25 of us, 25 in our groups, and for the last 3 years, the groups was running very well, and for now only one group is running. Only 4 of us is running the bakery. And when we bake, we have to ask for the youth to collect firewoods, and we have to pay them a bread each.
And are you baking daily now still?
We have to bake 4 times monthly.
Okay. So from the time that you planned the bakery project, what kind of training did the women's group receive in not just how to bake the bread, but how to manage and market the bread? And what if you think about it, what would have been some of the training you would have liked to receive?
I think in my point of view, I'll recommend some of the for budgeting and marketing, and some other income activities to be.
So not just rely on from beach to go to baking, but
bakery.
look at diverse.
Yes.
Do you do cakes or anything like that?
Sometimes
For
we
birthdays?
no,
No.
because we in rural areas we don't.
You don't have birthday cakes?
We don't have birthday cakes.
Okay, I'm going to come to you, Maretta. Maretta, you're part of the FemLink Pacific team here in Labasa. At the Community Media Center, you're going out and collecting the kinds of stories that the women are sharing. But At a personal level, what does economic and food security mean for young women like yourself?
Thank you, Sharon. As a producer here in Labasa, usually go to fill the WHIES form and even interviews. Some young women, as rural young women, they came out with, they don't even have a job for them. And some of them, they just come out with uh, the lack of the education, level of education in the rural areas. Even in Mataniwai, it's been very hard for them just to come here to town, pay off their bus fares and all, with school fees.
Are you finding that, so when you talk about jobs, how, when did you finish school and how did you go about trying to either go into tertiary or find a job here?
I, as a young rural woman here from Bua, I am straight from Bua. I just pay my fares to come and stay here. I'm schooling here in Holy Family Secondary, in Form 5, 4, 5, and 6. And then it's very hard. So some of my friends are there, some of their parents, they can afford to send them children to school here in Labasa, because in Bua they don't even have some school there. They can afford even the tertiary people, tertiary students. So for the tertiary fees is too high nowadays, as we all know. Then it's very hard for them. Some of my friends, they have something there with them. They have their talents, they have everything, the knowledge and everything. But the only thing is that they came out with the high cost of living. It's too high. The fees and all these things, the transport for them, even to pay for the transport to Suva, to go and continue the schooling there in Suva for tertiary education. And it's too high for them, so they can't able to pay for it.
Just to go back to your 3 years of high school here in Labasa, from coming in from Bua, where were you staying? How were you staying with your entire family, or?
I'm staying with one of my father's brother, elder brother.
Okay.
My father elder brother was working here, and they have 4 of them still schooling. And then my father just came and asked if my daughter can stay with you just to continue from 4, 5, and 6 here. And then I'm staying with them, but it's very hard. It's only one of them. My only uncle is the one who earns money in the family. So I'm staying there. So sometimes I face for some fees here in the school. So I call back home to send this for me, the amount of money you want in school. And I feel sorry for my friend there in the village because they don't have any relatives here in Labasa. So they don't have it, so they're just staying there in the village. They don't even come.
How are the young people feeling? I mean, you obviously get a volunteer allowance and you're able to do things with that money, but how are young people feeling when they don't earn a living?
I think most of my friends, they have nothing to give it to their family. Most of the time when I came back there in my village, and because I'm very happy that I can earn something here, but for them, they have nothing to earn for their family. They're just staying there in the village.
We were having a discussion in Nandi 2 or 3 weeks ago, and one of the young men in this conversation on economic security was saying, well, until we can get jobs, we just have to work the land. Are young people in your villages, Maretta and Losena, are they working the land? Are they producing agricultural, are they doing agricultural production to contribute even if they don't have paid jobs?
Yes, we had a youth group, and I'm our secretary in our youth group, and we have to plant. We plant, and every young male members, they have to plant 50 cassava, and a day on Monday. This is our day to plant 50 cassava a day. That 50 cassava is for them. They have to plant their own cassava patch.
So they've been given some land.
Yes, we have plenty lands in our village, and and then we plan. We already doing it on one Monday to plant their own, and another Monday we have to plant for the group. Might be because we have plenty visitors coming in the village, and we just have to bring from that and cook for our visitors. And we even sometimes when we go out and get beach dima, we have our bank account and put it there. If there's a youth who wants something for his business or further education, we just help with that money.
Okay. So whose idea was it to organize the youth group in that way?
It was our own idea, and we just asked our Turani Koro to help and our chief. And right now we even planting watermelon and cucumbers, and we are planning to sell it to the market.
Okay, so that's a really interesting kind of youth empowerment development for economic security. So to come back to the realities, as you said, the prices are high. We're earning so much, but we can't get jobs. What would be your recommendations, Elisabethi? Is it about access to land? What is it?
Thank you, Sharon. I recommend that, like for today, I recommend that a young woman like me, we should not consider that only white-collar job is the only source of income we can have. I think that we should go back to our own land and start doing the planting now. As I'm a Fijian, so like we have some pieces of land there, way back in the village. So I wish if we could move back and start doing the planting now.
Okay, thank you, Elisabethi. Marinita, what are your recommendations?
Thank you, Sharon. My recommendation this morning, we don't have to relax. We have to stand up and do the work if we have the land, and we can make from agriculture to come and give courses about using off land to our place. Thank you.
Would that be the agricultural training? Would that be something that the Nangai Women's Club would like to receive? Would you like to see that as a project of your women's club?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. If we can have courses from agricultural officers to come to Nangai, it will be good.
Okay. Do you think other settlements, Marita, from the stories that we're hearing across Madawata, for example, do you think these ideas would benefit other communities and yourself, your own community in Goa?
Yes.
So what in addition to these recommendations, what would be your recommendations?
My recommendation, like in Bua, they already use the land. They use the land because most of them, it's a source of income just to get from the land, Sangona. The only thing is they face it from there is where to sell the Angona and the Andalo, because they just use the land. Most of the people there, they just
They're farming.
they're farming, and they don't have any place to sell the Angona and the Ndalo. If they want to sell the Angona and the Ndalo, they have to pay their bus fare for $12 from Bua to Labasa just to come and sell the Angona, then go back. They don't have any marketing for that.
So improve the rural agricultural producers' access to markets, including maybe coming and buying from
buy from their own village rather than they pay $12 there to here.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Marita. Losena, you've shared with us a very nice project, one that, hopefully other youth groups will hear about and think about how you're organizing to plant and to plant produce that you can also sell at the market. How else could youth at the village level be supported so that they're feeling economically secure, so they feel that they're contributing to the community's food security?
I think we could have more awareness program in marketing and budgeting, and also in awareness in income
Income generation.
income generations
Okay.
activities.
And what would those look like if somebody was to say, what kind of training? What would you prioritize? Is it budgeting? Is it marketing? What would you like to? What kind of training would that look like for your youth group?
I think we'll need more in budgeting,
Okay. Why?
because most of our youth, they don't budget well. Just take it when we go out to the sea. When we collect beach dima, we sell it. We get $40 on that day. That $40 finishes on that day.
So it's about saving.
Yes.
Do the youth group have a bank account?
No.
Okay, so maybe it starts with a bank account,
For a
right?
bank account.
Okay, that's economic and food security, Lucille, with Elisapedi Rasame. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Merilita Tikondundua, thank you for joining us. Losena Railangi from the Mataniwai Women's Group, and ideas around how to improve their bakery, how to help youth not just be economically productive but save the money that they're earning as well. And Maretta from the Femlink Pacific Labasa Young Women Producer Broadcasters team. After the break, we will be discussing health security.
Thank you, Sharon, and a reminder that if you are in Suva, you can tune in to Fem Talk 89 FM Suva from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. all weekend, and Fem Talk 89 FM here in Labasa can be heard from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on weekdays.